This video will explain how we can repeat elements in JSX. For repeating elements in JSX, we will again use JavaScript constructs. As we have seen before, JSX might be trickier to get into than other templating languages, but you will learn or exercise some useful JavaScript knowledge on the way. In general, we can insert multiple JSX elements by including an entire array of elements. In the example here, we see 3 hard-coded JSX elements within an array. And those can be included by including the entire elements array in the JSX. Here's another example of this in action. This code constructs an HTML list of all API entries of the React package. It does that by creating an array of li elements and then rendering those inside a ul element. If we take a look at the corresponding results in the code sandbox, we can see the list of entries here. Arguably, the most important one here is use state, which is the only one we've directly used so far. You can also have a look through what else is available in the React API. One entry that may make you smile is this one, which contains React internals, which we should probably not touch. Typically, for creating repeated elements, we will start out with an array of data and transform each data entry into an XML element. And the most common way to do that is via the map method. In this example, we see some data which is stored in an array. In this case, each entry represents a to-do. And we can transform this array of data entries into an array of XML entries via map. Each data entry in the to-do array will be transformed into an li element, which will then be rendered. The function I'm highlighting here is what transforms data into renderings. Here I've tried out the code we just saw inside a code sandbox. If I go into the console here, it will display a warning concerning efficiency. The reason for this is the following. When React updates a rendering of repeated elements, all the information that's available to React is an array of previous renderings and an array of new renderings. In order to make the re-rendering efficient, React has to figure out what exactly has changed from the old array to the new array. Now, if the previous array contained 3 entries and the new array contained 4 entries, it could be that an entry was added at the start of the array. It could be that an entry was added at the end of an array. Or it could be that 1 entry was removed and 2 entries were added. To help React track this, we should always include a key property when repeating elements. Each element within an array of elements should have a locally unique key, which can be a string or a number. In JSX, the key property has a special meaning. It will not be rendered in the end result and will only be used internally to improve performance. Here I will use the to-do's ID as a matching key. So I'm going to type key equals, and then in JavaScript I'm going to type todo.id. And if I then reload the page, I will see that the warning has disappeared. Now that you've learned about repeating elements, I have another exercise for you. Starting with a slideshow component that shows one image, add some smaller preview images for the 2 previous, the current, and the two upcoming images. On this slide you can see a suggestion on how to generate the IDs of the preview images. This is a possible result, with up to 5 preview images below the main image. You can spend some time on styling and making it look nice, or you can just create a very basic unstyled version of it. An unstyled version could look like this. Here I've just commented out the CSS import, but the basic functionality is still there. If you've produced an interesting result, share it in the comments.